Will there be female fighters in Baki? We asked this question because Baki as a manga is very male-oriented when it comes to martial arts and fighting. But other martial arts manga have some aspect of female fighters ingrained inside their series, while Baki has little to no involvement of strong female fighters. Now, there are a few reasons why that is the case. One of them is a serious and crazy reason why female fighters can't exist in the Baki-verse, and I'll explain it near the end of the video, so keep watching. And I'd like to know what you think, viewer. First reason could be that Itagaki doesn't know how to handle a female fighter character. I know Itagaki is very capable of handling female characters. Like, from reading or watching the anime and manga, it looks like to me that he uses the female characters to build up a specific male character. Then, over time, the female character becomes their own person with their own ideals. Like, for example, Emi, Baki's mother in the Hot Blood Kid arc, was mostly behind Yujiro's shadow, at his beck and call, you would say, but then rebelled against Yujiro to save her son. Wistfully, she met her end, although she stood for what she believed in and became her own person or character. Different female characters can be argued for having a specific moment where they become their own self-determined character in Baki. But back on topic, a female fighter character is something Itagaki has never really explored because he can't just write them the same way as a male fighter character. Obviously, because men and women think differently and have a split view on fighting in general. It's constantly been pointed out how women view fighting as a passion in the Baki story through Kozue, Baki's girlfriend, where she is very discrepant against what fighting means to Baki and the other characters. And she says, and I quote, "Idiots from Planet Strong." Creating a female fighter that thinks similarly to other fighters in Baki is kinda strange. Not many women have a devotion for fighting. However, some do. It's just not the majority. Another reason could simply be that Itagaki doesn't want to draw any muscular female body. He 100% can. He's just too interested in the depiction of the male body to the point of making it look like fan service. And I understand, there's something alleviating about muscles, the curves, veins, bulges, the way it's shaped. So female bodies aren't really a relevance to Itagaki, and it would probably turn into female fan service, which doesn't represent the Baki manga. Alright, after this reason, I'll tell you about the biggest and most concerning reason about the female fighters being in the Baki story. Next reason is, what is their edge? What I mean is, how will the female fighter or fighters contend with the massively strong cast of male fighters? What do they have? The female fighter needs to be insanely strong to even have a relevant standing of importance in the story, or else she'll be left in the dust and be forgotten or made fun of for losing badly. Like, for instance, I think she would need to have at least one of these two things I will mention. Either one, the female fighter is a Hanma, And if you're thinking that Hanmas are genetically unable to give birth to females because of high testosterone, then that's wrong, because it's never been stated in the manga that it's the case. So a female Hanma is still a possibility. Number 2, she needs to have some kind of special ability or be special in some kind of way. Some examples could be like this one, Superman syndrome, where your muscle density is multiple times denser than an average human's, meaning she could be tremendously strong with a smaller body frame. That's something that hasn't been explored in the Baki series, and I admit, giving it to a female fighter would definitely make things interesting. Another example of how a female fighter could be special is basing her as a powerful concept. Like she can be an assassin, or a ninja, or a spy, or a crazy scientist. Like she could even be an engineered cyborg. Like these are numerous ways to make a female fighter like special in the Baki series in a somewhat believable way. But I'm sure if Itagaki does something like that, it would work out. Now I'm gonna name a few abilities already existing in the Baki story that would still make a female fighter character strong. Imagination power, poison hand, weapons experts, overpowered techniques. These are some ways that could make her very, very strong if she had it. Now, for what you've been waiting for, the ultimate reason to why adding female fighters in the Bakiverse is worrisome. Well, you see, the male fighters are too ferocious. I mean, not all of them, some hold back, but when you have characters like Pickle or Yujiro around, you're gonna be very fearful for the female character when she's up against them, because of these two men's past assaults on the female gender. But we don't talk about that. Full disclosure, Pickle is not primitive towards women anymore. Good for him. Love that from Pickle. While Yujiro somehow got worse. Oh, yeah, we really don't talk about that. I have a full video on that, so check that out after this video. Not to mention, fights in Baki are very brutal, like losing body parts, limbs, skin, you name it. We as viewers or readers can condone a man getting beaten up, but if it's a woman, that's something me myself is not comfortable with seeing, because I view women as beautiful and precious creatures that shouldn't be subjected to a beatdown. But honestly, what do you think, viewer? Should women fighters exist in Baki, or should they not, for the reasons I stated? As for me, there should be at least one female fighter to make things diverse, but Itagaki has to make her ridiculously strong, like on Baki or Jack's level. That's just my opinion. The strong is the beautiful.